Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanacha Yamunatira Vanacha Jaya Radha Madhava Jabihar Jaya Radha Madhava Jabihar Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं सत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं वीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया समस्तोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Today we are reading from Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 9, by Dhruva Maharaja. Vattaya Vayunayeta Satyavipam. Vattaya Vayunayeta Satyavipam. Tapranata Prabhupanaha. Tapranata Prabhupanaha. Yapavatya Saranam Tavapadam. Yapavatya Saranam Tavapadam. Matta Matta Daya Daya, given by you, Vayunaya, by knowledge, wisdom, the from the the I Nada, O my Lord, Prapanna, Brahma, Sarandya, Apavatya, Apavatya, Your Padam, Tam, How, O my Master, Lord Brahma, he surrendered at the beginning, you gave him knowledge, thus see and understand the entire universe, just as a person understands like you are the only shelter of all persons. You are surrender all who are. How therefore can a learned person with perfect knowledge but supreme personality of Godhead cannot be forgotten even for a moment by surrender? Fully understand the Lord Godless mercy beyond cannot know how much God. The more he engages himself in the more encouragement applied by the energy of God. The Lord says that those who are constantly engaged in governor supreme personality of Godhead gives instruction from within, thus they may make the progress. Being so encouraged, who can never forget at any moment. He always applies to him for having power in saintly persons like Chandra, Sanatana, Brahma, the entire universe by the mercy of the Lord, through knowledge of the Lord. The example is that a person may apparently abstain from sin all day, but as long as not fully enlightened, he may sleep at night and perform in the daytime. As long as not come back from thinking or therefore never forget when we Lord. God is addressed here as our friend. As stated in Bhagavata, after many birds here also one comes to the point of real knowledge. Comes one when one surrenders the Maya of the does not surrender that not only perfect knowledge, cannot perfect knowledge. ज्ञानतिरान्तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। चैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं पदां वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् रूपसागरजातं सहस्रनाथां साद्वैतं सावधूतं पर्जनसहितं चैतन्यदेवं पादानां च एककरुणासिद्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते दोमे गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्ते काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी भानुते हरिये कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो कृष्णपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले Krishna, Krishna, Rama, 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 Vata, 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 as supreme source of all knowledge of Brahma. Lord Brahma, the creator, secondary creator of this universe, is the most knowledgeable in this. And even his knowledge is being given by the Supreme Personality of God. This typically starkly contrasts to the most prevalent method of acquiring knowledge in material world is the speculative method. Because a lot of materialistic endeavors to obtain knowledge are all based on speculative method. And it is so much different from presenting knowledge. Once, when Prabhupada was giving a class in Mexico, there was one, I have a story from one lady who was a Sanskrit scholar who also had studied various philosophies. He asked the question to Prabhupada. Her question was, Swamiji, why is there anything? Srila Prabhupada was like, why is there anything? It was not the most logical or very constructive question. Srila Prabhupada, many times he would answer the question using the weight of the same question. So Prabhupada asked her back, what do you mean anything? Because there are so many things here. Table is there, book is there, microphone is there, chairs are there, fan is there. What do you mean anything? But the question was, why is there anything? And Prabhupada suggested to her, maybe you should ask, what is the purpose behind everything? The why is there anything? Or what is the source from which, from whom everything is? That is, in fact, one of the first aphorisms of Vedanta Sutra. Janma yasya yataha. He asked her back, what is the source of everything? Obviously, not an Srila Prabhupada, quoting this Vedic aphorism, he explained that the supreme absolute truth is from whom everything emanates. So naturally, being so surrendered to the spiritual process, he couldn't accept it. Lady kept coming back. But why is there anything? In fact, one of her friends also jumped in to explain this. Person said that, that person said that. Prabhupada was very insisting on helping her that she should rephrase or reform her question as what trying to understand the source of the religion. But anyway, people have their own. So ultimately, Prabhupada decided to become merciful to her and said, why is there anything? Said Ananda, pleasure. Ananda Mayo Vyapad. That is another. The reason for everything that is here is pleasure. Question is, proper understanding of whose pleasure this material is for will decide that we are full in our life. So basically, the method of acquiring knowledge from Brahma utilized was simply surrendering knowledge and receiving knowledge that not just he made his tiny little attempt trying to figure out things on, but from the pages of Bhagavatam that when he discovered himself or when he found himself completely surrounded by pitch darkness, running up and down the stem of the lotus, sprouting from the navel of the god, he was totally bewildered and considered that there is no way he can understand anything on his own. Then, realizing that somebody must have created, sat down and meditated on this god, who appeared from within his mind from tapasya. So, because we surrender, devotee surrender to the Lord or his pure for the purpose of learning knowledge, doesn't mean we become thoughtless. Yes, it's a chapter, the fourth chapter, Canto, Prabhupada writes for that devotee as thoughtful as non-devotee, as much as the non-devotee regulate for all their endeavors, devotees are very, very thoughtful, fine idea to think at all for our services, for our actions. So there are many pastimes where this followers, their the Prabhupada was last, a lot of that, like there was Chandra fan Prabhupada. The way he was fanning was very, very artistic, but because mind was cross artistic way of fanning Prabhupada, not serving purpose of fanning. It was whereas Prabhupada immediately said, bring someone with common sense here. When the devotee realized that he had to be thoughtful why I am doing what I am doing. And so when we accept spiritual master, Shastra, not talk, but we have to think for the sake of our devotional thinking is used in Guru Maharaj is saying in the beginning you gave him knowledge. Thus you see an person awaken, visualize. And what Guru Maharaj is saying is also confirmed that the Lord gave the architect of Brahma from within all the knowledge that is required. So just like many of us might have experienced jet lag when time when jet lag and first experience of jet lag, I woke up, I did not know means so much excitement and never to a different country for the first time, so much thought went in, but still the phase of jet lag is that it takes the whole knowledge. I had no idea where I was, why I was, what I was supposed to do, totally lost. But then it took quite a few minutes, several minutes for me to understand, okay, what has happened in the last 10, 15 hours and what, where I am. So the same way, when we are in the hazy state of sleepiness, we have no idea about ourselves, we have no idea of the purpose of this creation, purpose of our being here and what we are doing, what we are not. And when Lord Brahma was just given one instruction, you perform, but deeply surrender to that. By the end of those concepts, he received the required knowledge of performing creation. And for further purification, he also composed beautiful prayers in the 10th canto of Bhagavata, 14th chapter. That 24. Prayasmudapatya namant Tane Sita Tanvan Manitra. Here, say those who, even while remaining were established, throw away the process of speculative knowledge. Here it says that throw away the process of speculative knowledge. Then do what? Sigatam. We have to receive the knowledge by hearing, not by speaking. And what happens by throwing away the speculative process and keeping the knowledge by Achito, Achito, the unconquerable becomes conquerable. Here, Eprayasho, so simply by stopping our speculation and accepting the knowledge through hearing, Supreme Lord who is unconquerable, he can conquer because this speculative process is very, very self-centered. It all starts from me and revolves around me and it ends with me. Because of the false ego, we are not able to think of anything beyond me. The idea of speculation, that's why anybody who either propounds a particular set of ideas, ideologies, books or talks you can find on the internet, it is not based on hearing from the Shastras, hearing from bona fide spiritual masters. You can see that all topics will be surrounded that person, surrounded by that person who is speaking. It will go a little bit away, but then in a few moments' time, come. But in this process of consciousness, Bhagavata, center is not me, the center is not the person who is speaking. Center is Krishna. Because the speculative process will keep my ego intact. But when we hear transcendental knowledge, then it goes beyond the covering of false ego. The purpose of the Bhagavad Gita talks says that to those who are constantly engaged in personal service to govern supreme personality of Godhead, give intelligence from sense, thus they make further progress. Can chapter sloka Tesham Satchitana Tam that sloka, the purpose of the person may have a one point master attached to God, still not still enough to make progress. Then Krishna from within gives him instruction so that he may ultimately come to the qualification is that person always the love and devotion render all kinds of forms of work for Krishna. And that word means love. Devotee is not part of self-realization. It is sincere and devoted to the activity. God gives him a chance to make progress. So here, two aspects of cover. One is that we are sincere, the Lord gives knowledge. The other one is that what does sincerity mean? Sincerity means to be engaged. Once one devotee asked Dayananda Prabhu, he asked, Prabhu, how do you make progress? Dayananda Prabhu replied, I don't know, just too busy. You know about the pastime Dayananda was always busy performing devotion. So when we are busily engaged in performing various services, the knowledge is given. You don't have to teach how to make progress. Progress happens automatically by constant engagement. Here, the last line, of all persons who desire liberation, and you are the friend of all. How therefore can learn a person who has perfect knowledge? Here, who has spent constant difference, never forget. We have heard about that. The Chaitanya Charitamrita, Vastavya Satam, Vastavya Satam, Tara, Vastavya Satam, Vastavya Satam. Always remember these two principles are the most basic principles. All other regulations, all other regulations should help us, guide us towards this principle of Martavyam, Sanatam, Vismartavyam, na ja. Never forget all this. And this constant thought comes with the act of gratitude. And when we have practically unlimited this quiet when we are grateful God, we can actually come actually remember like from Brahma, he received knowledge for the service of God. And he never forgot the kindness of God, almost. Even when one occasion of Gita forgot his condition, Lord, the Lord personally placed him or put him back in his place or restored his memory. Lord. Same way, even by it also happened by the power of the Lord. So when we generally cultivate the habit of being grateful for every blessing that Lord, even if by the pushing of Maya, but the Lord restored the Lord has unlimited ways of restoring of the so the conclusion from this statement of Guru Maharaj, we understand how Lord Brahma was 80 and on, but when he performed the first year, the Lord he was expecting all. Today is also the auspicious appearance anniversary of the appearance of Mata. I'd like to make a personal statement. Today is also the anniversary of my China visa. So I humbly call at the local I always remember forget about it. So Baldev Vidyabhushan, great Acharya, our Gaudi prepared for a lot of such point. Baldev Vidyabhushan appeared because when great devotee takes his birth, his glories are not known. Everybody thinks he or she is an ordinary child. But then as they grow up and start rendering their devotional service, then their glories become well. So the disappearance of great devotees is very obvious because by then their glories are very well known. So that's another reason why we Vaishnava Sampradayas celebrate the disappearance of great Acharyas. Sometimes we know we have details of their appearance in terms of place, time, etc. That is also very, very celebrated. But the disappearance of the Lord comes with a lot of glorification, a lot of spiritual achievement to Acharya. In fact, we might have noticed that the Bhagavata as it is, that Srila Prabhupada has given us, Srila Prabhupada dedicates that book to Divine Grace Bhakti Vidya book. And because Srila Prabhupada has mentioned that he uh, used primarily Bhakti Vidya Bhushan Bhakti commentary to write his purport to Bhagavata. Uh, Once when Pradyumna Prabhu asked Prabhupada, "But we have already written Bhagavata, Bhagavatam also. What else will you write?" Prabhupada said, "We will write Bhagavata again. But this time I have written the purport based on one Acharya. There are so many other Acharyas who have given that commentary, so we can write so many more Bhagavata, everything new." Baldev Bhushan understood that he appeared in a place called Balasore, very place close to the temple of Shirka. He is understood to have appeared in the Indian family, a very rich type family. Even though he appeared in a rich business family, he was very deeply inclined towards studying because he was very much studious, deeply engaged in spiritual studies. He was looking for more association of Pandit. So he said he migrated to very near from here, Mysore, to learn from the great scholars of Sampradaya. For a long time, spent studying under scholars of Sampradaya and Bhagavata. Became an expert in that, so much so that he could very easily and deftly defeat all opposing arguments against Madhva's speech. They conferred on him the title Vidyabhushan, appreciating scholar. Later on, he took sannyasa also from the Madhva line. Whoever would come there debating, challenging his Acharya, he would very easily argue them and defeat them. So then, as a route for sannyasi, he started traveling. But during his travels, he came Jagannath close to his birth. Even in Jagannath Puri, continued what he was doing in South India was teaching Madhvacharya. But by the mercy of the Lord, by he met the Radha Damodar Goswami, disciple of Nayanananda, disciple of Satikananda from here, Satikananda Prabhu, disciple of Shamananda Pandit, disciple of Uday Chaitanya, disciple of Gauridas Pandit, or Gauridas Pandit, disciple of Nityananda. Nityananda. Now, even though Baldev was connected to the Madhva line, he connected to Gaudi Vaishnava Parampara by saying Radha Damodar here about Radha Damodar to be superior, all encompass complete knowledge of the Vedas. From that point onward, I decided to study Gaudi Vaishnava, primarily the Chandra heard uh, writing. He was amazed by profound care, insight, Vasudeva but Dagadama won't fight for us. But he accepted him as the or public parade that Vasudeva Dagadama took shot of time. Then asked Vasudeva to be accepted Vasudeva shot all the night. On the way to Vrindavan, so Vasudeva spent very time there. That, by his teacher, Vrindavan, there in Vrindavan, the Rasa Chandra, which very rarely not there. That time, political scenario that the Mughal King Aurangzeb had destroyed all the temples in northern India. Because of that, the deities of the major temples were shifted to safety in different places. So, Radharaman, because he was very small, it was very easy to hide him. Other major temples, the deities were big. For their safekeeping, they were taken out of Vrindavan. And primarily, Jaipur and Karoli under the protection of the Radha. Among the primary deities, Radha Govinda, they were first taken from place just outside Vrindavan, which was also under the control of the Radha. So, it was not very far from Vrindavan. Radha Govinda they stayed there in the outskirts of Vrindavan for 30 or so years. Later on, when Raja Jai Singh came to Vrindavan along with his father in his young age, when he was 7 years old, he would come to Vrindavan along with his father to visit the holy place. He got so attracted by the son of Vrindavan. He was so attracted by beauty from Radha. He decided to take the beauty of Jaipur. Now we know that the significance of Radha Govinda is about 10 kilometers away from Jaipur called Ladakh. It's a high capital of Ramanandi. Ramanandis are followers of Ramanujacharya from South India, but they have slight different, mostly the same, but they are all settled in the northern part of India. One of the disciples, one of the followers of named Ramananda, is one grand disciple of this devotee Ramananda, Payaharidas, he had accepted the then Rajput king Prithviraj as a disciple because King Prithviraj accepted Ramanandi as the royal, and the royal the royal method that became very popular, very prominent. So Ramanandi sannyasis, the Ramanandi sadhus became like the royal priests. So they were instructing, directing, and guiding the royalty at the time. Uh, Among this happened before Raja Jai. So when Raja Jai Singh, when he brought Radha Govinda deities Jaipur, there was so much opposition for Radha Govinda DTS to be, but we know in Ramanuja Sampradaya, State Sampradaya, they worship Lakshmi Narayan, Sitaram. They don't worship Radha because the rasa is different. It's Parakya rasa. So there was a lot of opposition in Jaipur by the Ramanandis for worshipping of Radha Govinda. And Ramanandis were putting various arguments to the king about why Radha Govinda should not be worshipped, how it is inappropriate. And, so Raja Jai Singh, his heart was already given to Radha Govinda, but he did not have answer to their question. So he wrote an open letter to all the Gaudi Vaishnavas saying, these are the questions being posed to me, the Royal Assembly, to the worship of Radha Govinda, Lord Chaitanya. And I do not have answer. I request whoever has answer, please come and help. So one of the arguments the Ramanandis put was that the lineage, Sampradaya connection, the Gaudi Vaishnava. In Garuda Puran, there is the shloka, Sampradaya Vihinaye Mantraste Nishpalamutta. Without being connected in one of the four Sampradaya, the spiritual mantra, the Diksha mantra will not work. So which parampara Sampradaya of the Ramananda, of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas coming from? So various, some Gaudiya Vaishnava Pandits, they came and tried to answer, but then they were all rejected by Ramananda. They did not have very clear concept of Ramananda. And whatever explanation they gave, the Ramanandis did not accept those explanations. So Raja Jai Singh also couldn't make any, but he wanted to declare the Gaudi Vaishnavas to be victorious. But then he was very just and reasonable king. He could understand the arguments that Gaudi Vaishnavas were not putting sound arguments. So he wrote an open letter again that we want a more theological explanation, not just sentimental explanation. So he wanted to settle the matter for good. And eventually, this, even though this happened, Jaipur, Vrindavan was very close. Vrindavan was a very secluded place. So it took a long time for this news to reach Vrindavan. Eventually, it reached Vrindavan. Krishna went to him. He was the most prominent Gokul. He was very busy in writing, and Bhakti was also studying and was also writing. Discussion like that, Baldev Vidyabhushan asked, what is this God for? Says that Utkale Purushottame. In Purushottama Kshetra, in Utkala, whoever, whichever Sampradaya has Mata, they are considered authentic. The four Sampradayas already have the Mata, but Gaudiya Vaishnavas do not have a Mata. But they by saying that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, personally stayed there, performed the past year. What is the need for separate Mata? Every place that he performs the past. He said, yeah, we know that we understand. Ramananda is not all the time following the footsteps of Jiva Goswami, father of so student of Jiva Goswami, decided that they should take this case very strong. He wanted to go to Jaipur, help Raja Jai by answering all the questions that to personal glorification. The Vaishnavas, they don't take it up to the establishment of the authenticity of the Acharya. and Sanatan basically said, okay, give me the same mantra I will give the Chief Guru to establish the authenticity of Gokul. He argued with him. Same way, Prabhupada also decided to go, but then was very, very aged. So, Bhakti Vidya Bhushan, he was winning. Prabhupada, yeah, Bhakti Vidya Bhushan, and all night long, Bhakti Vidya Bhushan, Prabhupada forced lots of argument. Bhakti Vidya Bhushan break those arguments whenever he said that. But say, Bhakti Vidya Bhushan went to Jaipur, where he was totally unknown. So, lots of difficulty, he was able to meet the king. And when the king said that he was being sent by Prabhupada from Java, and he was willing to answer the Ram. So a debate was organized from thereafter, and Baldev Bhushan meticulously answered all the questions of the Ram. One of the points they were raising was, of course, when the Ramanandis had questions about why we worship Radha Govinda, why not Narayan, why not Sitaram, because they are married. Baldev Bhushan very thoroughly explained. The final question was, if a sampradaya has to be bona fide, they have to have their own commentary on Vedanta. It was the last argument. All other questions were answered. So Raja Jaisingh asked Baldev Bhushan, do we have a commentary Vedanta Sutra? Baldev Bhushan said, give me a few days, I will bring a commentary. Raja Jaisingh said, how many days? We want to settle this issue. Baldev Bhushan very honestly said, there is no commentary, I have to write one. Raja Jaisingh was very disappointed. Vedanta Sutra has about 550 aphorisms. How are you going to write a commentary on the entire Vedanta Sutra in a few days? It will take months, not a year. Baldev Bhushan requested that he just give him a few days' time. Baldev Bhushan understood the seriousness, challenge of the task. So he went to the temple of Radha Govinda, surrendered to Radha Govinda, prayed for mercy. When he was offering his obeisance to Radha Govinda, one garland fell from Govind Dev. Pujari brought the garland to Baldev Bhushan and offered whatever you had in your mind. Govinda Dev has his blessings for that. So you confidently can proceed with that thought. So that blessing, uh, Baldev Bhushan sat down to write commentary on Vedanta Sutra. In fact, the first night when Baldev Bhushan was taking the breath, Govinda Dev personally appeared in his dream and said that don't be despondent. That you start writing your commentary on Vedanta Sutra. I will personally help you. So in a very short time, few days time, Baldev Bhushan completed writing commentary on Vedanta Sutra. In fact, he named Vedanta Sutra commentary as Govinda Bhasha because it was personally instructed by Govind Dev. And when Baldev Bhushan took his Govinda Bhasha commentary and presented in front of the king and all the Ramanandi scholars, they were all shocked by the depth, clarity, the explanation of each and every sutra from the Vedanta Sutra. So the victory of the Gaudi Vaishnava Siddhanta, all the aphorisms, the Vedic aphorisms were explained very meticulously, incorporating the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, the teachings of Sanatan. So that conclusively established that Gaudiya Vaishnavism is bona fide, directly connected to the Vedas, the Vedantas. And Ramanandis, they gracefully accepted the defeat in the debate, and they gave their blessings for the worship of uh, Radha Govinda in Jaipur. It was not like a egoist bitter battle. They gave their blessing. Since then, Raja Jai Singh, he established Radha Govind Dev as the main center of the culture, lifestyle of the city. In that argument, Baldev Vidyabhushan also established how Krishna is the source of Narayan. Very motivated stuff. And Raja Jai Singh, he uh, wrote a royal decree saying that these matters were finally settled by this debate between Baldev Vidyabhushan and Ramanandi scholars. That there are documented royal evidence, historical evidence uh, to that. So shortly thereafter, Vishwanath Thakur, he left this work, and Baldev Vidyabhushan continued for many years, staying in Vrindavan and Jaipur, writing a lot of books. And later in the year 1793, he left this world. One descendant of Raja Jai Singh, Raja Pratap Singh, he was also a student of Baldev Vidyabhushan. He organized a very grand ceremony in the city of Jaipur, commemorating the disappearance of Baldev Vidyabhushan. And he wrote a letter of an organized lots of charity to be given. So that historical record is also beneficial now. And this way, Baldev Vidyabhushan is like the flag bearer of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. In fact, the teachings of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, shortly after Lord Chaitanya's departure, also went into forgetfulness of the society. So many Apasampradayas came. For a long time, for many generations, Gaudiya Vaishnava teachings were totally forgotten, represented only by Apasampradayas. Nobody wanted to do anything with the Gaudiya Vaishnava because people were misrepresenting teachings of Lord Chaitanya, doing all kinds of legitimate acts. And Bhakti Vidyabhushan had two disciples. One was Srinandan Das, the other one was Uddhav Das. And Uddhav Das had another disciple of him. His name was Sri Uddhav Das, similar name. Sri Uddhav Das, one of his disciples was Madhusudan Das Baba. He used to stay in Surya Kund in Madhusudan Das Babaji was the Diksha Guru of Srila Jagannath Das Baba. And Jagannath Das Maharaj, we have this picture in our office. So from there, our Guru Parampara is obvious. Just like after Baldev Vidyabhushan, so many Apasampradayas came. All these Apasampradayas, eventually after Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he was a disciple of Jagannath. Then Thakur, till Gaur Das Babaji Maharaj was also a disciple. He accepted him as the Guru. Saraswati Thakur was a disciple of Gaur Das Babaji Maharaj. He took up this task of clearing all the Apasampradaya and Sahajya misconceptions, Gaudiya Vaishnava, very vehemently went against the Sampradaya teaching. He established the sanctity, the authentic purity of teachings of perfection. And his dear disciple, Devendra, he took those pure teachings beyond the shores of India, all over the world. So we are very grateful for this for because of the disciplic expression being maintained so intact over generations, we are able to receive the same knowledge that Guru Maharaj said, the through discipline, it is no less direct than receiving directly from God. Transfer. This is a brief about the glories of the day. Also the appearance day of Srimati Ganga Mata Gautam. She was born as daughter popular king Bengal region. Now there was a king called Naresh Narayan. He had a daughter whose name was Siti. Being a princess, had a lot of opulent surroundings, all facilities for frivolous activities. But then she was very different. She was very, very focused on devotional service. She was very attracted to and also deeply inclined towards studying various shastras, studying grammar, poetry also. Then after when she started studying literature, she became started becoming more and more detached from her surroundings, from her opulent royal. In her young age, being a princess, she got many, many marriage offers from various other kingdoms. Many princes who heard about her beauty and her exotic nature, they wanted to marry her. But then she was avoiding all those offers, giving different kinds of excuses to her parents. She did like that for many years. Years passed, and her parents grew old and they left this world. So after her parents, they took charge of running. She was administering the kingdom for some time, but her heart was always inclined towards bhakti. She couldn't focus amidst all the royal duties on her devotion engagement. So she appointed one of her relatives as a temporary in charge of the kingdom. The pretext of going on pilgrimage, she set out traveling. She wanted to associate sadhus and hear from them. And like that, when she was traveling, she came to Jagannath Puri, where she met great Acharya and Gaudiya line, Haridas Pandit. Haridas Pandit is a disciple of the Ananta Acharya, who is a disciple of Gadadhar Pandit himself, one of the Panchatattva. So she took shelter of Haridas Pandit when she heard from Haridas Pandit teaching of Lord Chaitanya. She learned Gaudiya Vaishnava from Haridas Pandit, and she was also giving lectures on the Srimad Bhagavatam on the Haridas Pandit. She expressed at one point in time her desire to go to Vrindavan. Haridas Pandit told her that Vrindavan is not a suitable place for you because you are still you still have a lot of royal semblance. You are so she understood the message, and then from that time on, she step by step gradually started giving up her opulent clothing, her royal ornaments, and then instead of taking service from her royal attendant, she sent all of them back, and she started living alone, and she started begging door to door, doing madhukari, wearing very ordinary clothes. Looking at this, her spiritual master Haridas Pandit, he assigned another one of his lady disciples, Priya Devi, to stay with her and support. And then both of them would go door to door in Vrindavan doing madhukari. And in this process, Devi, she became very frail and weak, and she lost all the royal luster. So nobody could even recognize that she was the princess one. At that stage, Haridas Pandit called her and said that now you can go to Vrindavan. So she was so happy, she was very excited. She took blessings of her spiritual master and she traveled to Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, so she stayed for a long time. Many years she stayed in Vrindavan. After many years of staying in Vrindavan and being absorbed in the beautiful mood of Vrindavan, she received a message from her spiritual master asking her to come back to Jagannath Puri. And taking that instruction as paramount, she left Vrindavan and came back to Jagannath Puri, and she started staying in the house of Sarvabhaumacharya. And that house was not being attended to. After Sarvabhaumacharya left, there was nobody staying there. It was getting dilapidated, and the Shalagram Shilas that Sarvabhaumacharya was worshipping were also being neglected. And Sachi Devi, she took up the service of worshipping those Shalagram Shilas. And she was meticulously doing that. At what point in time, Lord Jagannath appeared in the dream of the king of Puri, instructed him to give a place for Sachi Devi, proper place to live, because she was just staying in the house of Sarvabhaumacharya as an attendant in one corner, in not any particular place. But then, appreciating her devotion, the Lord personally told the king to give her a place. So when the king went and told her that I want to give you a place to like an ashram stay, she refused, saying that I'm very happy here, I don't need it. The king said that this is personal instruction of Jagannath. She reluctantly accepted. So the king uh, ashram for her. Later on, one occasion, an auspicious occasion which is suitable for taking bath in Ganga, she had a Devi had a deep desire to travel to the Ganges, to Ganga and take a bath. But she was very old and couldn't travel so easily also. But so making that prayer, she went to take rest. And Lord Jagannath came in her dream and told her that you don't have to go to the river Ganga to take bath. You go to Shweta Ganga, the small pond there. You take your bath in Shweta Ganga, which is non-different from Ganga Devi herself. So immediately she woke up from her sleep in the middle of the night. She went to Shweta Ganga and she took her bath. When she was taking her bath in Shweta Ganga, Ganga Devi started swelling up through Shweta Ganga. There was huge flooding and very strong currents and big waves in Ganga. And those currents and waves took Sachidevi, carried Sachidevi from Shwetaganga all the way to Sri Mandir. And the waves of the water took her inside the temple. These waves, many other people were getting caught in the waves. There was so much commotion. People were shouting, screaming. They were all surprised. And hearing all this commotion, the priests of the temple, they woke up. There was so much sound of water coming from inside the temple also. So they reported this to the king. King told them to immediately open the temple, even though it was not suitable time, it was night time. Open the doors of the temple and check what is going on inside. The priests opened the temple door. They saw Sachidevi standing in front of Jagannath, all alone. They didn't know what happened. They thought it was a thief who has come to steal the ornaments of Lord Jagannath. So they caught her and they put her in front of the king. King gave her the punishment to be put in prison for trying to steal the Lord. A few days, Sachidevi, without any reaction, she accepted whatever was going. She accepted when the Lord sent Devi to her. So the same mood she accepted when she was punished by the king. And few days later, Lord Jagannath again appeared in the dream of the king and told us that I personally brought Devi in front of me because I wanted to see her. How dare you punish her like this? The king immediately fell at the feet of Devi and begged her forgiveness and announced that this was personally done by Lord Jagannath. He accepted initiation from Devi. From that point on, Devi was known as Ganga Mata Goswami. This is in brief about Ganga Mata. Okay. all devotees, kindly pray for me, give me your blessing for me also. But I'll always remember the instructions of spiritual master for Acharya. Try to serve all. As Jayananda Prabhu said, try to be busy in devotional service so we don't have to part of the Prabhupada comment question. Hare Krishna. That it's better not to know. If you don't know, you are very clean and pure. But then I'll try to give an over to you. Going back to the point that Ramanandis were raising, that we should only worship Lakshmi Narayana, Ram, because they're married. We should not worship Radha Krishna because Radharani and Krishna are not married. Padya Vidya Bhushan and many other acharyas have strongly established how worship of Shri Radha and Krishna is superior to worship of Lakshmi Narayana and Ram. So this is Parakira. Some people took that idea and twisted it. If the Lord can engage in Parakya Rasa, Parakya means outside of marriage. Devotees of the thief. You know what happened in the material world when a thought like that comes in a big mess. So it described the scene was so bad that we only many so-called devotees had created such a disgraceful situation that even at the time of Srivinoda Thakur, Gaudiya Vaishnavism means people don't want to do it. Really look down on Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Very, very debauchery. I go Premanandi. Hare, thank you so much. And but then- and, so let us all express our gratitude by loud. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Let us all assemble and